Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. Good to have you with us on the show. It's a Thursday. I know this week seems like it's gone on for 10 years. It seems like the longest week of the year. We've got a lot going on this week. We had our State of the College event earlier this week. We got graduation coming up. It's just a busy time here at HCC. That's good. That's good, though. Like to keep busy. Glad to have you with us on Facebook and YouTube. And, of course, my co-host joining me from the HCCTV studios, Alberta, is in the house. Good to see you, Alberta.
Good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning. Has it been a long week for you? Because I know for us, it's been a long week.
Oh, definitely. With graduation just around the corner, just like you said, it's going by really fast.
You'll be graduating, and that's all good things for you. You know, it's been such a long week. I'm thinking of taking a vacation next week. Seriously, I'm seriously thinking of just going out of town just for a little while because we got the graduation thing coming up. It's going to be busy like crazy. But hey, let's get on with the show. We've got some special guests who's going to join us. It's also Virtual Family Fun Day. We'll get to that in just a moment. But if you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, we appreciate you being here. We're live just about every morning at 10 a.m. when HCC is in session. And Alberta, they can also catch us on HCCTV and in social media at any time.
Yes, you can definitely catch us on the Houston Community College District Facebook page and on our YouTube page. You can also find us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and on Instagram. HCC TV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday is where you can find us.
Yeah, you can watch the rebroadcast of this show. All right. Do you ever watch yourself on TV?
I do. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
It's kind of weird, huh? Yeah. Well, now you're on TV twice a week, so you're just all over the place now. And are you on billboards? Is that what I've heard? You're on a billboard?
Yes.
You're on a billboard too. Because
Frame the Future. Yeah, it was the Frame the Future campaign. And it was very random. Family members told me before I knew about it.
So have you gone to the billboard, stood in front of it, and had your picture and posted it on Instagram yet?
No, I'm not that extra. I just basically... I took a photo of it. It's on my Instagram.
So I want
proud
you
moment.
Stand in front of it, pose like you are on the billboard, take the picture and post it on Instagram. Okay, that's your assignment.
Okay, I'll try.
These things don't happen all the time in life, Alberta. It's a big deal. It was actually a bucket list of mine when I was like 10 years old. I was like, I'll be on a billboard one day. And well, you fulfilled, you're already fulfilling your bucket list. I feel bad now. All right.
Skydiving.
Let's get on with the show because you're going to be interviewing this next guest for our virtual family fun day. Montse Canedo is joining us. She's the volunteer coordinator at Brazos Bend State Park. Montse, good to see you.
Hey guys, good to see you too.
You guys have a big expo coming up?
We do. We're really excited about it in May.
All right. So that's on the way. We're going to talk about that and hear about all the cool things. Do you still have a gazillion alligators out there at Brazos Bend?
We definitely do. The numbers have not changed. That is what we're known for.
I know. I've told people about it. They didn't believe me. I said, there's got to be like some type of treaty between man and the alligators because they both leave each other alone and it seems to work out pretty well.
That's right. It's part of what we do. We teach so that we can continue to have this park and thrive with the alligators even living here.
All right. Well, we're going to talk with you more in a few minutes. So stick around. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes.
Great.
All right. Thanks, Montse. Okay. We're going to get to our first segment guests. We'll be talking to a couple of people who share a little bit about HCC's grant development. We've got Carolyn Greene, interim director and grant writer. Good morning. And also Elizabeth Tisdale, manager of grants performance and compliance. Both are with the Office of Resource Development and Innovation Grants. Good morning, ladies. How are y'all?
Morning. Doing well.
Well, first off, I believe we're going to start with you, Carolyn. We read this yesterday, and it's a huge number, and it really needs to be highlighted because it gets our attention. $112 million in grant funding for HCC since 2015. Obviously, a lot of planning goes into this when you're trying to get these grants and awarded these grants, and that's a pretty hefty figure all around.
It is, but it's the cumulative work of not only our department, but the various expertise from departments all around the Houston Community College system.
And for the grants, I mean, we hear about grant writing. Is that a very specific to have that talent to be able to write for grants? Do you have to include certain language to get these grants? I mean, it's not like just writing an essay saying, I really need this money because.
You really have to justify and explain to the funder how HCC is going to maximize their investment in our work.
And since we've started, I believe it was 2014 or so when our chancellor started the Centers of Excellence, has that opened us up to getting more grants because we have specialized course learning here at HCC?
Well, I don't know if it's opened us up anymore because we were doing phenomenal work before then, but it's allowed us to concentrate and focus, I believe, on certain grants for certain areas. We look at grant funding to strengthen HCC overall, to improve student services, to help with enhanced instructional activities, as well as workforce training. So,
right. What is the functions of the Grants Development Unit?
The Grants Development Unit, again, we focus on identifying, working with what we call subject matter experts, the people who are actually out there that know the information, and preparing applications for federal, state, and local government grants.
When you're applying for a grant, how long is the process? Is it something that takes weeks, months, years? How long does it take from writing out the writing for the grant, putting in the application to where you actually receive the funding? What's the typical time?
Well, there is no typical time. It used to be a situation where you had longer to actually prepare the grant. But in recent years, most funders are down to a 30-day to 60 days, and that's great. That's, an advantage from the time they issue the grant announcement to the time you have to submit the proposal. And then once the proposal is submitted, it could be anywhere from 30 days to a year. It depends on the funding agency.
Let me ask you this. I want to bring Elizabeth into the conversation. Before I do, one more final question, Carolyn. This is just something I'm wondering. Because of COVID, is there more grant money available or less grant money available in the wake of the pandemic?
It depends. I think there is more available because there were emergency funds set up and issued to colleges across the country. But there's always been a wealth, and they're now even more focused on helping those students that are challenged, that need assistance to succeed here at HCC.
And Elizabeth, I want to talk with you more about the compliance unit. How does your unit offer assistance in the whole grant process?
Sure. So we come in post-award. So after the grant writers have done all the hard work of finding the funds, bringing them to HCC, then we come in when it's been awarded to make sure everything goes smoothly. HCC fulfills its commitment to the funder, and what we call the principal investigators, the PI for the person implementing the grant, they have all the information they need to make everything run smoothly, whether it be HCC policies and procedures or the grant policies and procedures from the funder. We make sure they're connected to everyone they need to work with and that everything goes smoothly.
So it sounds like your unit works with a lot of different people involving these grants.
We do. Right now, we work with 34 different PIs across campuses and locations. That number is always changing as we get new grants or we're working with new people. So we work with 46 grants right now, and that's with anyone across all campuses.
Once a department receives a grant for, say, funding, and I'm just going to pull this out of the air, but let's say the Public Safety Institute received a $500,000 grant to buy police cars or buy new vehicles for their students. Do you have to actually go to the location and see how this is fulfilled, maybe take pictures, send it back to the state or the government, whoever provided the grants?
So we are moving back towards going on site. Some of that halted due to the pandemic, of course.
Right.
But we're doing visits to see how the grant is running. We look at things like record keeping and files and how the program's being run and how the funds are being spent. So we do try to go out at least once during the grant cycle. If it's a longer grant, go annually.
I'm going to ask both of you this question, so think about your answer, but I'm going to start with you, Carolyn, because this is getting thrown out at you at the last minute. Looking back over the grants that you've been awarded, what is the most bizarre or unique grant that you got funding for that sounded maybe outrageous to normal people? Can you think of one, Carolyn?
Actually, not really, because every grant is, again, used to help HCC its thing better. And since we serve a range of people, I can't really think of one that's been that strange. It may be something I'm definitely not familiar with, and I would need the language to be decoded for us normal people. But for the most part, it helps that specific population that we're targeting. So no, there's nothing too strange.
What about you, Elizabeth? Can you think of something that's kind of unique that you thought, oh, well, that's an interesting use of grant money?
I kind of have to echo what Carolyn was saying. Some of them are very specific to departments and everything, but nothing overly bizarre that I can think of off the top of my head.
If any of our professors or instructors are needing funding, do they come to you seeing what grant funding is available? Is that how it works? And how would they get a hold of you to explore those ideas?
Well, the first step would be to send an email to our official HCC account, and it's hcc.grantsoffice@hccs.edu. Also, if you could go onto our website on the My HCC page, you can see where we have a form called a grant search request. So if you need something, information, you're looking for us to find grants for a specific project, fill out the form, send it to us, and we're on it.
And you also have a workshop coming up where people can learn more about this process?
Yes, yes, yes. The next one will be May 20th, and we encourage everyone that's interested in any type of grant activity, come and learn it, because there's specific procedures here at HCC that have to be followed.
Sure.
And it's open to everyone. It's only about an hour, so it won't kill your whole day.
Okay, we're gonna send someone from HCCTV to that workshop to see if there's any funding that we could get here at the station. So, ladies, we appreciate you being on the show. Thank you for joining us and enlightening us on the grant process and all the great work you do.
Thank you.
And then if you're interested in more information, we'll give you that email address and the website address in our social media post after the show. Okay, Alberta, it's Virtual Family Fun Day, and you're going to take us out to the folks at Brazos Bend State Park.
Hi. So moving on to Montse Canedo, who is the volunteer coordinator at the Brazos Bend State Park. Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. Doing really well. Thank you.
Good.
How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to hear about your expo. So we're excited to learn more about it. It's coming up, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So we have the Brazos Bend Expo, but can you just tell us what it is first? Just give us a little bit of information about what it is, and then
absolutely. Yeah. So the Brazos Bend Expo it's the first time that we are ever doing this. So it is brand new to all of us. And what it is, it's an event that brings the community together. It's always been a goal for Brazos Bend to work with the community, to really bring us all as a whole. It's not just about us, but it's about everyone that's part of this community. So this event really strives for that. So we've invited people from, all over the Fort Bend area, a little bit further into the Houston area. So organizations that compose our community, as well as other members of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, so that our visitors can get a better idea of what else there is to do out there. It's not just Brazos Bend State Park. It's not just a museum. It's not just, one organization. It's a lot of us that build this community and put it all together. So it is ultimately a goal to just bring everyone together, our park visitors and our community.
Okay, so you said this was your first time doing this.
Yes.
It's an annual. So what brought the idea about for the Brazos Bend Expo this year?
So the whole idea came about kind of like what I was mentioning. We've always had that goal of working with everyone. We all have so many different things in common, all our different organizations, nonprofits out there. So we wanted to just come together. We wanted to unite everyone and collaborate with one another because a lot of our goals really align and really overlap. And this is kind of one of those chances where we said, how can we really bring everyone together in that community sense? And we came up with the Brazos Bend Expo, which has been, I think, in the talks for some years or something of the like. And this was finally the moment where we said, let's do it. And we've really gotten involved with our Chamber of Commerce out here. We've really gotten to know a lot of our other members and organizations, nonprofits and businesses, local businesses from the area. So now we're bringing it all together so that our visitors can also be a part of that.
Okay, so can you tell us a bit about what will be involved in the expo and what is the ultimate goal of the event?
The ultimate goal of the event is exactly that. It's bringing that collaboration with one another. It's showing our visitors, our park visitors, everything that is around them. We hear it all the time. All of us, I think, hear it all the time. I've lived here my whole life. I've lived here for 20, 30, 40 years. I had no idea that you guys were here. And we're like, well, hey, so glad you found us. And that's the way that we can make a difference out there, is by reaching out to these communities, to this, to our audiences out there, and a big diversity of it. We're right outside of Houston. We have such a large population. We have such a diverse population, which is so important. And we need to reach out to all of them, to those that are underrepresented, to those that are always out here, to everyone. So the goal of this event is that, to reach these audiences, to reach further into our community, to show everyone what there is to do, because they've lived here all their lives, but they don't know that there are all these different options out there, that we have the park out here, that we have the Railroad Museum out there, that we have the George Ranch, that we have all these different things out there. So we're bringing it all for them.
Yeah, I actually find it quite sad how, like, when people have lived in a place for so long and there's so many things to do, and it takes them so long to find that one thing that brings them closer to their own families and also like connects them with the city. So like, that's amazing that you're influencing people to go outside, you know, it's awesome.
It's big.
So how is this event beneficial to the community? Like, people at HCC, you said that it's right outside of Houston. So like, how would it be beneficial for people like me and other students? And
Absolutely. So because we are bringing so much of the community together, Texas Parks and Wildlife Department being a part of it as well, this is an opportunity for kids to see different opportunities that they have out there. For students who are working on their careers and might not know exactly what they want to do yet, or maybe they do, but this is a moment to connect them with those people. For example, if we have someone out there that has been wanting to be a park ranger this whole time, now they can come out here, they have a chance to talk to us and learn about how can I do that. Or we're going to have some of the law enforcement out here. Fort Bend Sheriff's Office will be here. So if a kid is out here and they're like, I love that and I want to be a policeman when I grow up, they have a chance to connect with those people. So whether they're still young kids, whether they're already students, they're about to graduate like you guys were mentioning, and they have those goals or aspirations, but they just simply don't know what they want to do, here's a moment to come out here, see what opportunities you have out there, and make those connections. Start networking, start finding out how can you get involved? How can I achieve this goal? So that is a way to really help out parents out there, kids out there, students out there, and everyone.
Oh, I love that. That actually makes me feel like it's kind of like starting an old school way, if you will, to get people and children like hearing about what they want to do with their futures again, instead of being on their devices and into social media. Like there are some things that you can do to give back, especially with something like this, which brings me to my next question. I read that you have a chance to meet with the Texas Park and Wildlife Coastal Fisheries Division. So people like that and the Texas Rangers, the park rangers. Can you, all those career opportunities there, can you tell us more about those in particular?
Absolutely. So when we hear Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, I think the majority of people think game wardens, and we all go to think about the game warden show, and that's usually what we get associated with. But Texas Parks and Wildlife has actually 13 divisions underneath that. State Parks is just one of them. Law enforcement, which encompasses the game wardens and your park police officers, that's just one thing. We have coastal fisheries, inland fisheries, wildlife division. We even have HR, legal divisions. We have a media team. There's so much within the Parks and Wildlife Department. So if someone is interested in working for the Texas Parks and Wildlife, this is a chance to get to see that and what all these different divisions actually do. You want to talk to the game wardens? We are going to have some of the law enforcement out here for the Brazos Bend Expo that belongs to TPWD, but also to Fort Bend. We're going to have the coastal fisheries here. What does that entail? What does that even mean? What do they do? This is the chance to ask those questions and really get involved and get that true insight into those different areas.
Well, we really appreciate you sharing all of that information for people who really want to be inspired. And, we'll have more information about that. So thanks again for joining us and sharing all of that.
Thank you guys for having us and letting us share more about this big event. I mean, it's such a huge goal for us, and there's going to be food trucks. So if you like food also, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I'm ready for that too.
And you get to see the alligators too. Don't forget that. They've got a gazillion.
I love alligators.
It's pretty cool.
We have our nature center and we have the hatchling alligators. So you don't only get to see a baby alligator, you might get to touch one also.
Oh, that's cool. All right. I'm all about that. Okay. I'll be there. Thank you, Montse. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Of course. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Okay, Alberta, a few announcements to go on to, because there's a lot, as I mentioned, we've got a lot going on at the college. Graduation's coming up. We had our State of the College. We've got several ceremonies, including the one Alberta's going to be in. She's got a billboard, by the way. If you didn't know. Billboard. Anyway, okay. You're looking for a career in artificial intelligence? This is pretty cool. Our Computer Science Association is organizing HCC's inaugural conference titled Houston, We Are AI Ready, also hosted by HCC's Digital and IT Center of Excellence in Women in Technology student groups. There's going to be a whole bunch of people there. The informative discussions will cover the latest advancements in AI. It's 1 to 5 p.m. Friday, April the 29th. That's tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, April the 30th, this coming Saturday. So you can catch one of those days. Just register. You can attend all of it, part of it, and they will be live streaming it as well. We'll have the registration info in our post after the show. And we've got a music honors recital that's system-wide, Alberta.
Awesome. So we do have the HCC System-Wide Music Honors Recital, and this will showcase future select students who are recommended by private instructors across all disciplines, including voice, instrumental, and piano. And that'll be at 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, May 3rd. And this is a free event that you can find at the HCC Central campus. And we'll have registration is also encouraged for this event. And we will have more info about that after the show.
All right. Okay. This is also something that's pretty cool. And this would be right up your alley, Alberta. I think this would be something that would be perfect for you to cover if you had a chance. But the Art Design Collective of the Consumer Arts and Science Center of Excellence will live stream Euphoric Bloom. It's a fashion show, also including fashion, merchandising, filmmaking, digital communications, and photography. It's happening next Friday, May the 6th at 6:30 p.m. at HCC Central. It's a live stream event, invited guests only there. We'll have an email and information in our post after the show so you can learn all about it. Student exhibitions, spring 2022, those are ongoing as well.
Yeah, so this will return to our in-person student exhibitions free gallery shows at several campuses, including HCC Southwest Art Studio. Students will be judged for awards in drawing, painting, both acrylic and watercolor, 2D design, 3D design, ceramic, sculpture, the works, and also photography. So that'll be now through May 6th at HCC Southwest Stafford Fine Arts Gallery.
Okay, and the manufacturing summer camp. If you want a summer camp to learn all about manufacturing, well, HCC's Material Science and Smart Manufacturing Center of Excellence is offering a summer camp to introduce high school juniors and seniors to the basics of computer-aided design, plasma cutting, and the role of robotic instrumentation. The camp is especially aimed at students interested in learning more about smart manufacturing careers. So if you've got a kid in high school, they're real tech oriented, not quite sure what they're going to do, well, get them in this camp. They can get a very profitable career when they graduate from high school. June 6th through 10th, it's at HCC Southwest Stafford campus. We'll have a link in our post after the show where you can sign up and get your kid off to camp for the summer. Okay, fall registration, fall 2022. We're already talking about it. Of course, summer registration is ongoing right now, but Alberta, you can also register right now for the fall.
Yes, so registration is already open. So you can apply for the online anytime schedule, and you can do online on a schedule. So that means you have a meeting that is set with a time. Hybrid, which are lecture classes where you meet face-to-face, partially virtually. In person, where you have face-to-face classes, just traditionally. And you also have a hybrid lab where you can do both. Go to lab courses and do it virtually as well.
Yep, go to hccs.edu/apply, register today, get your classes locked in, get set up for your financial aid, and you'll be ready to go. Okay, tomorrow we've got Film Friday. It is Friday, and we'll host Charlie Min. He is a filmmaker and a documentary maker who has sold films to Lionsgate, Investigation Discovery, and has placed more than 25 movies on streaming giant Amazon Prime. He knows what he's doing. So if you're a filmmaking student, this is definitely going to be a show you'll want to check out. And we've also got someone from the chemistry department joining us as well, Alberta.
Yes, we do. We have Dr. Emmanuel Ewan, and he is HCC's chemistry department, and he will be discussing the science division with us on tomorrow.
All right, that wraps up the show for today. Alberta, you'll be back, on Monday?
Yes, I will be back for Music Monday. We have a really exciting guest for you all.
Who do you have?
So we have a gospel artist this time, Mike B., and he actually has won Texas Awards for the best gospel vocalist. So can't wait to hear more about that on Monday.
Cool. All right, we'll see you on Monday, but we'll see all of you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. live for Up to the Minute.